This is a 2004 Corvette Z06, and this is a lightweight battery that was installed in the car. So today what we'll discuss is all the things you should consider before installing a lightweight battery in your C5 Corvette. Alright, let's jump right into this. Something I was not aware of about C5 Corvettes is that they are prone to having electrical issues. So they have small drains on the battery. Over time, these deplete the battery and wear through them rather quickly. If you don't go ahead and troubleshoot and figure out what the battery draw is, which a lot of people don't do because it's not that big of an issue, then over time, especially if you don't drive the car regularly, it can kill batteries and it can do that quickly. When I first picked up this car, the first battery died about 6 months after me buying it. That is when I went to the lightweight battery, but having not really done any research beforehand. So this is the model I got. It is the Braille 17-pound racing battery. Now the reason that I went with that one, 17 pounds is not the lightest battery they offer, but it's also not the heaviest. I think the heaviest they have is like 21 pounds or so. The factory batteries in these cars weigh anywhere from mid-30s to like 50 pounds. So there is a pretty substantial weight savings, but as the weight gets lower and lower, your total battery capacity gets lower as well, meaning it doesn't last as long. Knowing that I don't put a ton of miles on this car and that I regularly leave it sitting for several weeks at a time, I didn't want to get the lightest weight battery possible, so that's why I selected the one I have. Is it still had the cranking power, it still was going to do everything this car needed, but in theory it wouldn't die and discharge as quickly as the really compact ones. Now in theory it also had a 1-year warranty for everything and a 2-year extended warranty where they prorate a replacement. But here is my experience with this battery. First of all, it is a lot smaller than the factory battery. So going under the hood here, this is the factory battery in the actual engine bay, and then here is the Braille battery. As you can see, a lot more space on all 4 sides, and you can see when I'm shaking this around, it doesn't seem nearly as stable. Now, specifically on a car like this, where I take it to a racetrack, that is a cause for concern, because if that battery shifts too far out of place and I short that out, that is a very good way to set your car on fire. Now, truth be told, I did things to mitigate that. So I put a big rubber pad on the bottom to try to give it a little bit more grip. I also put adhesive on the underside of the bracket that goes over this to try to clamp it down and keep it secured a bit better from the top as well. And then I had to custom drill a few new holes to get that bracket on to hold this a bit better. But even so, even though I did all these things, it still moved around as much as you just saw. So the safety consideration should be a very real thing. This is something that will burn your car to the ground if you don't mount it properly. And to get a custom battery holder for it, you're looking at a couple $100 more. Now the trade-off is you're putting in a lighter weight battery, it's less weight on the nose of the car, it's going to help you with performance and acceleration and lap times. The problem is, now you have a weight that's shifting around slightly. It could unsettle the car, especially if you're doing anything with slaloms or left to right transfers. And number 2 is that you're talking 20 to 30 pounds at most. That is a pretty significant weight reduction, but realistically, people like you and me are not setting any track records. You're better off trying to take that weight out of other areas of the car that aren't going to affect its reliability every single time you try to start it, and that aren't going to pose a safety risk in the event that it shorts out and burns your car down. And furthermore, I wasn't even able to tell that much of a difference between the original battery and the lightweight battery when doing performance driving, both with acceleration and with actual road course driving. You are much better off spending that money on a professional alignment. That made a much bigger difference to both road feel, to grip levels, better traction off the line, and to lap times, all from the alignment, which is about the same price as the lightweight battery would have been over the regular price battery. So really, you're buying this from a performance perspective, but now it's a huge liability, and you really don't get that much more performance when you can get much better performance by getting other things for the same price. So now let's go into the reliability aspect. As you can see, this is not in my car, but as you can also see, I've already used this. It's got the mounting pads and everything else. So if it's not in my car, as you could probably tell, it's because it's dead and it is less than 2 years old. So like I said, 1 year full replacement warranty and then a 2-year limited warranty where they prorate the replacement. I found 2 issues with this. The first is that the battery first died at 14 months old. I left the car sitting for about 2.5 weeks while I was on business travel. I came home, the temperatures were no lower than about 55 degrees during the night, and then the highs during the day at that time of the year were about 85 degrees consistently. So overall, it wasn't experiencing extreme heat or extreme cold. It's still died over the course of about 2.5 weeks. And the other thing is, I store this car for the winter with no battery in it. I take the battery, I put it inside, I trickle charge it intermittently, but I don't overcharge it. I'm very diligent about maintaining my batteries in the winter because, quite frankly, I hate spending money on them. I think it's such a waste of money to replace a battery every few years when you could just maintain it for really not that much effort. Even so, this battery was completely dead at about the 18 to 20 month mark and is legitimately beyond saving at the 22-month mark. Now, I reached out to the place that I bought this. I've reached out to the manufacturer. I've called both and left voicemails for them. I've emailed them. And out of all these times that I attempted to contact these companies to get this replaced, again, under warranty, the only feedback I got was from the company I bought it from, who doesn't handle the warranty directly. You have to go through the manufacturer. And they told me you're better off just buying a new one. Because even at the prorated discount, the price to replace it is probably going to be more expensive than just buying a new one outright. Which in my mind, I think is kind of a bad faith move, right? That's the entire purpose of a warranty, is that if the part goes bad within that window, you're not paying for a new one and they replace it. Which in my mind is a pretty substantial problem. So at this point, what I've decided to do is get a different battery altogether and go back to an OEM size. Part of me buying this battery was because it had the warranty, so I said if it has a reduced capacity, it's not a big deal, so I know that it's covered and I can get a replacement, thereby not wasting my money down the line. But by having atrocious customer service, by not returning any calls or any emails, and then by point blank telling me you should just buy a new one because it's going to be that difficult and expensive to replace, that does not instill any confidence in me as a consumer to recommend this product to anyone ever. And beyond that, I would never spend my hard-earned money on this again, knowing that the factory has no intention to honor the warranty that they claim to have offered. The fact that I can't even get in touch with them to discuss what that price would be to replace it, that is a huge red flag, and that is terrible customer service. So here is my opinion about running a lightweight battery, specifically in a C5 Corvette. While the battery is new, you will be fine. It's gonna run fine, it's gonna run normal, it'll hold a decent charge for 2 to 3 weeks for the first, 6 months to a year. When you start putting the lightweight battery through extreme temperatures, when you start having it sit longer than that, and as the battery ages, you're going to see a very sharp decline in performance because it doesn't have as much capacity. Now that said, until that point, cold cranking amps were fine. Cold starts, even on the chillier mornings here, we're talking mid 30s to mid 40 degrees, those were still fine. Even when my battery voltage meter was a little bit lower, so rather than being at the consistent like 12 to 13 volts, it was at like 11.7. Even in those conditions on the 40 to 45 degree mornings, the battery still had enough juice within that first year to get the car started. But as the time went on, that performance got worse and worse. It took longer and longer to crank over, and we're talking about a 14-month span from the time it was new to the time we started having those problems. So when you buy a battery with the expectation that at a minimum it'll last 2 years because that's the manufacturer's warranty, but realistically it should last at least anywhere from 4 to 6 years, it's really discouraging to have it be that dead to the point I can't even trickle charge or effectively jump it within a 2-year time frame. So if you're considering a lightweight battery, especially if you have a C5 Corvette or an older car that is known to have small electrical draws, I would just not do it. I would especially not buy one, but I would especially not buy one from Braille, especially if you want any semblance of customer service or of having your warranty honored. For me, the peace of mind of knowing the car is going to start, of not having it die every 1 to 2 weeks of sitting after 1.5 years of owning the battery, of having consistent performance of cold weather, of repeated starts at the racetrack between sessions, all those are problems that I had with this battery, where I started having to jump it between autocross sessions where I wouldn't have had to do that with an OEM battery. So ultimately, that's what I've done. That is where I have put my money instead of getting another one of these. I went back to an uprated OEM battery that's a slightly bigger size, and even though it's a heavier weight, I am now more confident in this vehicle. I am less afraid to use it and take it places, and let's be realistic here. It's also not really going to hurt my lap times any because I'm not that good and that consistent of a driver. I don't have enough talent and enough seat time to really compete to the point that I'm setting lap records. So me running a few tenths of a second slower on a 2-minute course doesn't make that much of a difference, and I get to enjoy it more because I don't have to worry about the car starting afterwards. So save yourself some money, don't go with the lightweight battery, and if you do happen to go with one, don't go with Braille. But that is all I've got for this time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.